Welcome to Secrets of the Soul, and today we have the beautiful Alisha. Hello, how are you going?
Hi, I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Hi Alisha, how are you going?
Hello, I am well. It's nice to see you both.
Yeah, so today we wanted to talk to you about sharing your journey and how you got to where you are today. So if you want to just say in a few sentences, like a little bit about yourself to begin. Just a bit about you just to begin tonight.
Okay. Do you mind if we take a few breaths together to begin?
Oh, yes. That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, if we just put our hands over our heart and just taking a few deep breaths in and sighing out, just letting go of the day. Drawing your attention in, noticing your hands rise and fall gently as your chest expands. Noticing the weight of your body on the chair. Just allowing the muscles of your face and your shoulders to relax on each exhale. As I say thank you for having me here, and thank you to everyone who will be watching this interview.
Oh, isn't that nice to just slow everything down?
Yeah, it helps me a lot to take a few breaths during the day just to center and come into the present moment, let go of everything that just has happened, and now I'm here with both of you. So
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I feel like everything just slowed right down for me. But yeah, so if you want to begin about introducing yourself.
So I do a lot of things. The most recent thing, I just hosted an online self-love summit where I interviewed guests over the weekend, and we had a lot of people listening in. It was so wonderful. And that was to also launch my membership program, which is Earth Angels Soul Space.
Oh, cool.
So that's we do a weekly call on Zoom. So that's my latest offerings. I also do retreats where I teach yin yoga and crystal singing bowl sound baths. I also, do teach ballet on the side. I used to be a dancer, so that's still a little bit a part of my life. Do a little bit of modeling here and there. So I do lots of things.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Such a beautiful thing to have so many skills and to be able to share them all and incorporate them all into your different practices. So it's lovely.
Well, do you know how it all came about? Is because I was a dancer. Like, I started dancing when I was 3. It was my whole life. I did it all through high school. I was a professional dancer for about 10 years.
Wow.
And then when I turned 30, I had what you would call maybe a bit of a breakdown / spiritual awakening. And my dance career ended quite suddenly. And then it was like, what am I going to do? So I did everything. I first studied dance movement therapy, which was very healing for myself. But I also learned a lot of skills. It was half counseling, half movement, like how to use movement to sort of shift emotions in the body and release. And I also did work with children with special needs with movement, because they were non-verbal. So we used movement to express and communicate. It was very beautiful. And at that time, I was also teaching ballet as well and working with a lot of teenagers. And I noticed that you know, I would teach the class, and then they would all come up to me after, and they'd have all these questions about life and being a teenager and, you know, all of these things. And so I did a course in youth mentoring and ended up doing a lot of youth mentoring, actually doing workshops, doing one-on-one sessions, mostly with teenage girls. And that was all around, you know, self-love and confidence, motivation. And I really enjoyed, that was a few years. I've kind of stepped out of that this year. So I did that, and then I also did the sound, so the Tibetan singing bowls first I got into. I did a course in Bali, and I just fell in love with the sound, and I feel energy in my body. And so when I heard the singing bowls and I felt what they do to your energy and like your whole energetic system, I was like, wow, they are so healing. They're so powerful, yet also really gentle and subtle. So yeah, I did the Tibetan bowls, and then I did the crystal singing bowls. I did a whole course on that as well, and started leading sound baths with guided meditation. And then, I fell in love with yoga when I stopped dancing and decided to finally do my yoga teacher as well. And then here I am. I've just combined everything into, and I don't think this is the end. I think I'll just continue to explore things. I think in the beginning I was trying to find my purpose and find that one thing I was going to do for the rest of my life. And then I finally realized that's not me. Like, I'm just continually going to be doing different things all the time as I evolve. You know, my work will evolve. So yes, that's how I have this whole toolkit of all different things I do.
That's amazing. I think, you were right with, as we grow and as we learn new things, we'll just start to incorporate them into everything that we do.
Yes. For example, me leading a summit, there's like 400 people in the group. Like, for me to do something like that was another big step that has just happened, like speaking in front of that many people. So it's continually changing, and I love it. As long as I'm feeling good with everything, then it's a yes.
I feel like that's definitely, like you said, your spiritual awakening, and constantly growing and moving and doing different things to, you know, benefit yourself, but also to share with others, so you can have that knowledge when you meet people, just to even tell them one simple thing that might change their life, that will continue on or be like a ripple effect. So I just love that.
Yes, and that's what happens. Like, you learn something and it helps you so much, and you just want to share it with other people. It's definitely part of that spiritual awakening journey, is once you've learned something, is then to you don't have to be a teacher or anything to teach it, but even just you learning that lesson, and let's say it's around self-love, and you suddenly love yourself, then your friends and your family are like, oh, well, what are you doing? You look so happy. You know, you look so well. What are you doing?
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, you know, some of the biggest things for me have been a regular yoga practice, a regular meditation practice as well. Meditation for me is like my lifesaver. So when I had my sort of breakdown, I had such bad anxiety. Like, I couldn't even leave my room some days because I was so anxious. And it was the breathing and the meditation that really helped me sort of reverse those patterns in my body, like when the nervous system just goes into fight or flight. And like, I was in that state 24/7. My body was like this all day, and then I couldn't get to sleep because it was like this. So I first started with sleep meditations, so listening on YouTube to sleep meditations, and it would really help me calm down to fall asleep. And at first, I would have to listen to like the hour-long meditations maybe 3 times to fall asleep. And then, yes. And then over time, like I could literally just put it on, hear his voice, and be like, so I had like trained myself to go to sleep with this. And yeah, because sleep's a huge thing. So for me, that was really important to master the falling asleep. Mastering falling asleep.
I definitely can agree with that, because sometimes, you know, when you're in that state of mind that, you know, fight or flight, your brain is just constantly going in circles.
Yes, that's a cycle.
It doesn't stop. And like you said, the breathing, it's like we are born to breathe, but we forget how to breathe. But you know what I mean? So it's like we are born and we take that first breath, and then as a child we have all these deep breaths, but then as life goes on we just shallow breathe. And it's like, but why? We need to take this oxygen in, and we need to open our lungs up, and we need to like just make it, you know, just getting that adrenaline almost. It feels for me like when I take a really deep breath that I just get a buzz, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so much better. Like, you know, that's all I needed to do. But just realizing that and taking that on board, and just like you said, training yourself to be able to do that.
That's it. Yeah. And especially when I had bad anxiety, I had to retrain myself to breathe slowly. And there's an exercise you can do with a straw where you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through the straw. And it slows down your out breath, which then slows down your nervous system, like calms everything down. And it would have been weeks. I literally just carried a straw around with me for weeks. And whenever I felt myself start to do this, I would and I cut the straw off so it looked like a lollipop stick, so I didn't look like a crazy person walking around like this.
Just have to straw out of your mouth.
So that was to train myself to slow down my breath, and I did that for weeks. And then the effect of that was that I was able to calm down enough to notice what my thoughts were, like what was happening up there, why I was stressed, why I was anxious. And it was all of those thoughts. For me, it was worry. I was always worrying about something, like, am I going to be late? Have I done this? There was always something going around in my mind. So when I was able to slow down my breath and calm down, I could notice the thought, and then I could be like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. For me, the biggest tool was like, look at the bigger perspective. If I'm late, is it the end of the world? No. You know, are they going to hate me? No. You know, you're just going to be late, and it's okay. You're a human. You're allowed to be late, you know? So I think, breathing for me, the breath tools is just huge. And the meditation as well. I'm not sure if you guys meditate. Do you like meditation?
Yes, definitely 100%. I think you go. You go, babe.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I'm quite like you, Alisha. Like, I started using meditation for sleeping, and the same thing, I would listen to it over and over again until I slowly trained myself to be able to fall asleep to that. Now I do meditation not just for sleeping, like for other aspects. I actually incorporate it quite a lot into my daily self-practice routine, which is amazing. Like, I don't think I could live without it now, really.
Same. So,
I'm really interested in breath work. So I've been doing, I've done holotropic breath work before, and I've gone to it's actually just in Kincumber. A lady called Lottie Life. She runs them, and wow, they are so powerful. It's like 3 hours of laying down, breathing a certain technique, and it takes you on a bit of a journey.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I've just like, I've done sort of the yogic breaths and things like that in the past, but I've only just discovered this year those powerful techniques, like, you know, like the Wim Hof method sort of thing, that really, like, they're so powerful to cleanse the body, and they bring up everything, like all the emotions, everything. It's very powerful, and I love that it's getting more, you know, popular, especially through, you know, Wim Hof, and there's a lot of other people bringing out sort of their methods and stuff like that. So absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm at the moment I'm on this journey with flower essences. Pure Heart Alchemy is doing like a breath work, kind of like a dieter for 3 months. And so I'm on the 2nd month at the moment, and we're working with the sacral chakra right now. So it's all sexual energy happening. And then we've got like a rebirthing breath work at the end of the month, just to like bring everything all together from the whole month. So it's pretty, really interested in breath work at the moment. And
I love that with the essences, because it's like, it's funny because people use, you know, oils, this and that, every crystals, but when it comes right down to it, it's all just energy and the frequency that holds. And that is, I think, what I'm obsessed with is the energy. Like, because I can feel energy in my body, I can feel what all these different things do and how they affect, like, the chakra system and everything. Like, for me, doing a chakra meditation every day and letting them sort of cleanse, align, activate, energize, the difference in my body and my energy levels and my mood, like, everything starts at that energetic level. And for me, it's like, why weren't we taught this at school?
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree with you.
It's like a whole other level, isn't it? I love it.
Yes. Everything starts at an energetic level, because everything is energy, and everything in our environment affects us, like every single thing. So
that's why when I notice at the moment when I'm out in public and I come home, I feel so like I need to protect my field pretty much. I'm not doing any shielding meditations to protect my energy, but I'm noticing, I'll come home and I feel so just and I know that I'm taking in other people's energy right now, and like a lot of like fear obviously is
there is
everywhere
around at the moment. But when you're highly empathic, I feel you, sister. I am like, I've been through it all with the empath training and stuff, because you really need to look after your energy when you're highly empathic. And even just, you don't even need to do a full meditation in the morning, even just in the shower, when, like, in the morning, if you vision yourself in like an eggshell.
That's what I normally do.
With mirrors facing outwards.
I actually haven't. No.
So the mirror facing outwards deflects. So anything negative, it deflects. But then, in saying that, also cleansing your energy in any moment. Like, every time I'm in a bathroom, I do it. Every time, like, you know, every time I'm in the car, I do it. It's just like getting that, like, just a ball of white light through your body, flushing through and out. Especially at the end of the day. And then even just asking, like, requesting, not asking. We request when we use energy. So I request that all the energies that aren't mine leave my energy field now. And you can, like, even just saying it and not properly doing it, like, I can feel that something come up here. So use request when you're working with energy.
Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to use that one.
That's okay. Like, being very empathic has been a big struggle for me, learning about it. But then once you once you know how to manage it, it's actually such a gift, because you can really help people. You can really understand where they're coming from and feel them without feeling their pain. So you can observe, not absorb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I do agree definitely, Alisha, especially with the protection, like in the morning, like always remember to do it in the morning, but it's when I'm leaving a place, or if I'm leaving a person, or if I'm not then cleansing myself throughout the day. So I do it at the beginning and the end of the day, but it's just like another theory was like pulling the power point out, like pulling the plug.
Yeah.
I've heard that one before, like pulling the plug out of that person or out of that object or out of that thing, and like reattaching it back into like yourself. So I've just been working on that myself, actually, because myself being quite empathetic and yes, struggling with it my whole life, not realizing why. And now that I have the tools, then I can help to be able to help people without, like you said, not absorbing them.
Yes. And another one, so when, somebody's telling you a problem or something, instead of taking on their pain, so instead of bringing it into you, you send your light to them. Yeah, so you're not taking theirs in, you're sending your light to them. So you're wishing them well, and you're visualizing them all well and better and healthy and happy. And so, you're not taking, like, you're giving.
Going past your they're not getting past your bubble, basically.
Yes, they're not. And you can still help them. You're helping them because you're giving them light, you're giving them energy. You're just not taking theirs, absorbing their energy. Yeah.
And we do,
like, isn't it true, like when you see someone that you like care about, or not even like you don't care about them, you see someone that is in pain or is hurt, you just want to help them.
Yes, and you can you just have to consciously know what you're doing with your energy to help them. Yeah, so you consciously, I'm not going to take on your pain. I see you're in pain. I'm not going to take it on. I'm going to send you love. Yeah, and that will help them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel as empaths,
our intentions, isn't it?
Yeah, we attract it as well. Like empaths, we will attract all of the as I've heard before, of puppies and broken wing birds and everything like that. Unfortunately, we do tend to attract them, but always for the good. Like we're always for the good.
Yes. Yes.
But just not taking it on board, just helping through it without absorbing it.
Yes. And then also just the daily rituals, like you said, like the cleansing and the cord cutting at the end of the day, your protection. Like I find I have to do protection more than just once a day, and cleansing more than once a day, a lot. Yeah. Like depending on, how many places I've been to, how many people I've seen. Yeah,
definitely.
I love that we're talking about empath stuff because it's so like, that's also something we're not taught about. It's like, oh, you're just really sensitive, stop, why are you so tired? Like,
it's just brushed under the rug and not like taught like that. I mean, like children and animals, they're the most empathetic thing ever. And we're born like this, but it just sort
of you watch
like dissolve. Like
like my
2-year-old,
she can hold me in like sad emotions. Like if I'm feeling sad or I'm upset, she can hold me. She knows how to hold me, and it's like and it's shown me how to hold her and allow her to move through her own emotions, and however long that takes, It's just like kids are they're so powerful and little teachers.
Yes. And then we teach them all the ways that, to stop doing things like that and stop being so sensitive and stop, So I think it's so good that there's a huge awakening happening, so that you know, instead that it'll be nurtured in children now. And yes, hopefully the education system will get a big overhaul soon too.
Let's hope.
I know. At least they're slowly bringing in things like meditation and mindfulness, yoga, things like that.
Just to like incorporate that into the, you know, into the child's daily practice as well. And I guess that's going to help them long term to regulate emotions and not have to feel like they need to suppress it. And then, you know, it doesn't become an issue later in life. But yeah, just it really needs to be, I guess, dealt with. And a lot of people just sweep it under the carpet because it's easier. And I feel like if we
haven't we dealt with that, Ashley?
Yes, definitely. Like we want to teach our children to be able to cry and to be able to feel like everything they need to feel, and then it doesn't bottle up over time and it doesn't become such an issue later on. And
yes, because we weren't taught that at school either, like about, you know, you're taught this is a happy face, this is a sad face, but nothing about emotions being okay, emotion being like indicators of, you know, how you're going. And yes, we definitely weren't taught to express them properly and process them properly.
Processing.
Yes, and then because emotions are stored in the body, you then get to our age and you're like, oh my God, what's all this stuff? Why do I have back pain? Why is this happening in my life? Like, because it's all stored in our cells and in our body.
I know. I've recently come into contact with a kinesiologist, and I have been so over the moon about the treatments that I've been receiving, because Alison, she just is amazing, and she just, the way that she explains it, that, you know, where it holds into your body, and I've just been releasing so much stuff and even doing all the work myself too, but just like you said, having it in your body and being able to release it and then basically start fresh, you know, so you can think in the now, right here, not from what happened months or years or, you know, anything like that. So it's
nice childhood.
Move back to the moment.
And it's funny, we don't even realize that they're there, and that's the reason why we react in certain ways. Or, you know, I've been to Alison before too, and then
same.
and when I moved to Sydney, I'm like, I need to find a kinesiologist, and I had one in Sydney too. Like, they're so amazing, because it's like asking the body, right? The body's intelligence, which is incredible. And that's also, I mentioned before, I do things that are big yeses for me. And so I don't ask my mind what a yes is. I ask my body what a yes is. So, you can easily do it, like you just close your eyes and you ask your body, you're like, what does a no feel like in my body? And you like go, no, 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 no. What does no feel like? And then you see what your body does, which is usually like, it could be a contraction, it could be anything. And then you're like, what does a yes feel like? Like, what does my body do when it's like, yes, 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 that's amazing. Yes, yes. And you see like your body might expand. For me, it's weird. My lower chakras contract, like the muscles contract, and that's a yes. So they contract, and then I get a shoot of like energy up my spine, and I'm like, whoop, okay, that's a yes. Like, it actually makes me do like this, and
I love that. It's like a pendulum. It's like a pendulum. Like, it's just, that's what it reminds me of, because you know, the yes no concept of you're just asking your own energy field, not the pendulum. Like, oh, that's really cool.
I'm definitely going to use that, actually.
Yeah, absolutely right, because then you have your internal guidance system, and your body, it doesn't lie. Like, your mind will tell you all the things, right?
Just don't listen to that.
Definitely listen to my heart, my intuitive heart, with making decisions, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, and so for me, with the body response, it's similar to kinesiology. Like, yes, for me, that's been a huge like guidance system for me, trying to navigate there's how many questions come at you a day? How many things do you have to, and I just ask, is this, aligned with my purpose? Is this for my highest good? And then, you get a little yes or no answer in your own way.
I love that. I'll have to get back to you on what mine.
Please do.
Could you imagine? Mine would probably be something like this or something like pitchy.
Yes.
So I'd just be like trying to make a decision, and I'd be like,
imagine walking down the street and you just see someone like going like this.
It's funny you say that, because the energies and everything in the world at the moment is quite intense. And because I'm very sensitive to energy in my body, and it does make my body move sometimes. So in meditation, like, I quite often get a lot of like movement in my body, whether that's energy going up my spine, or like, my hands suddenly like flicking, or my head turning. And I definitely meditate alone. The craziness, but it's like, I suppose I just want to mention it because it's a normal thing. Like, I don't know if anybody also has experienced the Kundalini energy, which is quite an intense energy that can come up through your spine and really make you shake, and can be quite intense. So
I have heard of it, but I haven't experienced it myself.
Yes. So the first time I experienced it, it was just after my yoga teacher training. So I'd been in Bali for a month, and I'd been doing like yoga twice a day and really clean.
Sounds so nice.
Oh, it was amazing. Like, I really didn't want to come home.
Yeah.
And I was just in meditation one night, not long after that, and suddenly like my hips started shaking and my spine started shaking, the energy started coming. Luckily I was sitting in bed, so I just laid down, and it was really quite a violent shaking by the end, but luckily I knew what it was. So so I was able to just be like, I'm safe, it's okay, like, I'm not dying. And so that experience, it was incredible. But if you didn't know what was happening, it would be quite scary, because I know some people do have spontaneous sort of Kundalini awakening. So I'd like to share that experience too, because we don't learn about that at school either. So
but I've done actually Kundalini yoga when I was pregnant with my first. I know I was actually like pretty early, so she allowed me to do it. But it's an experience, like the whole breathing and the positions, and it's
very intense.
It is really intense.
Like, it's for someone if you want to do the work. It's not like, let's go relax and do Kundalini yoga, like yin yoga. Like, no, it's like, you want to do the work, you want to move those shifts and blocks in your body, and you will work for it. Like, holding those poses for so long, and like
it brings up so much stuff.
Yes, very powerful. Very powerful. But yes, it's not for everyone, but that's like everything. Like, you just need to explore and see what works best for you.
Definitely.
Not even like, and different times of your life, but even different times of the day. Sometimes I'm like, I want to do this type of meditation, I want to do that type of yoga, I want to do this type of exercise, eat this type of food.
Yes, actually recently, like I've just been really tuning into my body of what food that I truly need. It's funny because my partner and I, we just kind of go between eating vegetarian, and then we'll have a little bit of like meat, and we'll just be like just tuning into what we need at the moment. And so we've gone back to vegetarian at the moment, but just really tuning in to see what our body truly needs. It's
Yes.
has the answers, that's for sure.
It's interesting because sorry, it's interesting. I interviewed a beautiful lady on the weekend who she's all about rejuvenation of the divine vessel is the book that she's writing. So it's all about the plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And she really just talks about it in terms of energy, which is what is the energy of this that I am going to put into my body.
Exactly, yeah.
Is that of like an animal that has been killed that was in pain. Like what she talked about was spiritual fasting.
Oh, cool.
And so she had done 25 days fast. Like that was the longest. So 25 days without food. I was like, excuse me?
Because I recently did a course called Manifestrix, and they talk about, in one part of the course, they talk about what you're giving your body. So kind of like what you were talking to that lady about is when you eat raw living foods and you're putting that into your body because you're a living thing, it's going to raise your vibration, your frequency up. So it's easier, so you're lighter, and it's easier for you to get downloads or like that channeling coming through because you're in your light body pretty much. You're eating living food. Yeah. And same with fasting too. Like fasting is, I've actually never done any more than like a day fasting because I'm just like horrible. Which I probably
even like juice fasting or even
I love juice. Yeah.
You can even notice the difference in your energetic body with that as well.
Like just having juices and stuff.
Yes, like just having less food. Like I know that for me, a lot of my food, like a lot of the eating is just emotional eating. Like, oh, that was a big day. I'll have this, or so having to work through those sort of emotional sort of things as well as to what I'm putting in my body. But just the way thinking of it, that it is energy, and like what you're putting in there is going to affect your energy body. It's been really helpful for me. And so I've been doing like juice in the morning, and then like smoothie around lunch, and then just like a salad or something. It's in your body. You don't actually need, as much food as we were told. Have your 3 big meals a day.
It's like a belief systems as well. Like, oh no, like society says you need to eat meat and vegetables, and like, do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't. You really.
But we were taught never skip breakfast. Never skip breakfast. And I don't know if you follow the medical medium at all, but he's like, the best thing you can do is skip breakfast, not eat. Lunchtime, so your liver has time to keep detoxifying and your body can keep, purifying for as long as possible. Yes, it's so fascinating. So that's in the mentorship program that I'm starting very soon, that whole month, first month, is on like an energy audit is what I call it, like total detoxification. We start with the first week's like the physical, so that's like body, but it also everything in your environment, every person, every relationship, every place you go to, like your house. And then the next week is like the mental, so that's all of the thoughts, all of the toxic thoughts, all of the limiting beliefs, all of that, the mental side. And then the next is the emotional body. So we're going to breath work and movement to release emotions from the body. And then the fourth is my favorite, the energetic spiritual body. So I'll get my crystal singing bowls out and clean out all the chakras, the whole system. And yes, the end of the month be sparkling and clean. Feel like a new person.
That's awesome. So when do you start that?
Soon. It will be soon. Yes, probably in a few weeks. I'm just kind of gathering all of the everything together, trying to get a schedule together too. Life has kind of exploded at the moment with a million amazing things, which I love. So yes, just trying to fit everything in, but hopefully soon, in the next few weeks, it'll definitely be up and running.
And do you just do that online or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, weekly call online. I'm going to have a guest speaker every month as well come on and do a session. And yes, I'm calling it the gym membership for your soul.
Oh, cool.
Because we just need it. We need regular check-in with our soul and with ourself. And yes, I'm obsessed with all the things energy and spirituality. So that's what it's going to be. And I just feel people need support at the moment, because not just what's going on in the world and all the change in everyone's life, but also all of the people that are awakening at the moment. It's like mass awakening on the planet of all these people who are like, realizing, there is another way. It is, it is possible to let go of all of the stress and the anxiety. We don't have to live in the way that we were living before. That we are actually, this is what they're calling the golden age, where we are going to create a new reality on earth. And it's really exciting.
So exciting.
Yes. And we're playing our part right now. Sharing the love, spreading, all of these things that have helped us on this, on our journeys.
Just in it together we are.
It's time to step up.
Yes, exactly. And I love that you've started this, and that you're, sharing, getting your stories out, hearing everybody else's stories, because that's how we learn and we grow, isn't it? By hearing other people's experiences, which is why I wanted to share some of the weird ones, like the Kundalini awakening and stuff, because it's going to happen for people. And if they don't know, if they aren't aware, then a lot of the spiritual stuff can be a bit scary sometimes. Like, you start hearing voices, or you start seeing things that are not there. Like if you don't have a support around you with that, it can be a little bit scary and a little bit like, what's happening? It's crazy.
Overwhelming.
I've definitely had experiences like that.
And so, and also just having people that you can tell about these crazy experiences, right?
Yes.
You can't always just go into work and be like, hey mate, like this happened today. I had a Kundalini awakening, and then this angel came and like was talking to me. And it's like,
you can imagine, in an office.
They'll be like, get to the loony bin, or like go to the mental hospital or something. Definitely need your community around you to support you through these times. Definitely.
That's what we're trying to build.
In the past, isn't it? They were sent to the loony bin, and now we're, it's common, or getting more common knowledge that there's more than what we can see.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm obsessed with the energetic world, and Dr. Joe Dispenza's work as well. So he is proving with science all of this spiritual stuff. I'm like, yes, because when it's scientific based, you can reach more people with it.
Exactly.
I think his work is just incredible. Like spontaneous healings. And all of the stuff that he's doing. He's teaching people meditation. I don't know if you know much of his work.
No, actually, I don't know much of his work.
No, okay. Dr. Joe Dispenza, so he's a neuroscientist, and he's written a few books like You Are the Placebo, Becoming Supernatural, and so they're hooking people up to all of these machines when they're doing, for example, a chakra meditation. And they're proving that there is, like, they can measure the energetic centers and how they're affected by just placing your attention on them. And yes, it's incredible the science that he's able to show with, you know, meditation and connecting to your third eye, opening up, connection to, you know, guides or spirit or source or whatever. Like, he's starting to, get this like solid evidence, which is amazing.
It's exciting.
Yes. It's really
so
exciting. Yes.
That's so good.
That needs to be out there 100%.
Yes.
Yes,
And so he does like these week-long workshops where people are just having like curing diseases.
Yeah.
You know, it's in a week, just purely doing energetic work.
Yeah.
And yes, it's incredible. I love him. You have to look at his stuff, Dr.
We'll
Joe.
have to have a look. Yes, definitely.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely will be.
Well, thank you so much, Alisha, for joining us and being able to speak and just have a conversation about it, you know, and share our knowledge together.
Yes, it was lovely. It was wonderful to meet you both too.
Yeah, it was so nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
I love what you're doing in the world. Thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing in the world.
For everything you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Yay. And together we're going to create a new earth.
Yeah.
Yes. It only takes one person, right?
Yes, and then the ripple effect, like you said.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So I just wanted to check, Alisha, did you want to tell the listeners like where to find your page, or do you have a website, or what's the best
Website or anything?
Yes. So most people contact me through Instagram.
Yeah.
She's like Alisha_Jane_COON. And then, yes, I also do have a website, which is AlishaJaneCoon.com.
Awesome.
Well, we'll also add your profile when we share the video and everything like that.
Yeah.
Get everyone there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
lovely to meet you.
Blessings.
Lovely to meet
Have
you.
a lovely evening.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.